Destiny 2 has always been a game of peaks and valleys. It survived content vaults, controversial expansions, and course-correcting triumphs. Yet it still commands a passionate community that wants nothing more than the game to succeed. 2025 has been particularly turbulent. Between the long-awaited Edge of Fate expansion, the Ash and Iron major update, the Renegades reveal, and a host of bugs and monetization missteps, the community finds itself at a crossroads. In this video, we're going to talk candidly about the current state of Destiny 2, why players are frustrated, how content creators are inadvertently amplifying some problems, and what Bungie can do to turn things around. We'll break the conversation into digestible sections: the good, the bad, and the ugly, the community's reaction, the role of the creators, and a forward-looking plan. Throughout this discussion, I'll reference public articles and community posts to keep things grounded. Let's dive in. In this section, we'll go over the good, acknowledging what's working. Before dissecting the problems, it's important to highlight the bright spots. The Edge of Fate expansion delivered a cinematic campaign that many players rank among Destiny's best. Even critics of the game post noted that the story is top 3 in Destiny history. The expansion's new portal system, though flawed in execution, was intended to ease entry for newcomers by streamlining leveling and gearing acquisition. Meanwhile, seasonal events like Heresy, Ash of Iron, and the upcoming Renegades expansion introduced new dungeons, exotic quests, and raids that still scratch the itch for endgame chasers. Bungie also listens to feedback when it counts. After backlash over the Rite of the 9 dungeon rotation being set to a 3-week cadence, the studio updated it to a 2-week cycle. There's still a creative spark within Bungie. The new Desert Perpetual raid aims to deliver a sweeping epic set in the Plaguelands, and the art, soundtrack, and encounter design continue to showcase the team's strengths. Even critics who bash the state of the game concede that Destiny is at its best when the shooter feels fluid and the world feels rich. Those things haven't gone away, and that's why the following frustrations matter so much. Now let's go over the bad bugs, monetization, and mismanagement. Ash and Iron, a free update turned nightmare. The Ash and Iron update, which launched alongside the Renegades reveal, was supposed to bridge the gap between expansions. Instead, it introduced a laundry list of issues that players say killed the soul of the game. The update launched with bugs that caused competitive Crucible matches to end after 7 kills, soft locks in the new Reclaim activity, timer issues in Presage, and a broken power progression. Even basic quality of life systems like the Eververse store suffered, as bright dust prices for armor pieces were unintentionally increased. A patch eventually fixed some problems, but players were left wondering how such glaring issues made it through testing. Players' reactions captured by the game post paint a picture of despair. One Redditor wrote that after Ash and Iron, Destiny is over, noting that nothing works and that the contrast between Bungie's polished livestream and the buggy update is just soul-destroying. Another longtime player said that the update surpassed Curse of Osiris as Bungie's worst release, lamenting how neglected the game feels. Some fans even asked Bungie to roll the update back entirely, arguing that if things continue at this pace, the game's not going to have anyone left by Renegades. Eververse and the greed narrative. Monetization has always been a sore spot, but the Ash and Iron season took it to a new level. Players were promised an incredibly cool new Iron Banner armor set, but when the armor launched, it turned out to be a reskin from the 2018 Warmind expansion. At the same time, Bungie released 12 flashy paid armor sets in the Eververse store, costing more than $250 if a player bought them all. This disparity triggered a wave of criticism. The game post reported that players accused Bungie of favoring monetization over meaningful rewards, with one user saying that adding 48 unique paid sets would cost around $600, and that greed is going to kill you, Bungie. In response, Bungie pulled the Ancient Majesty armor set from the Eververse store and made it the new Iron Banner reward. The studio admitted that the balance between paid and earned cosmetics was off and promised to adjust its approach. While this was a step in the right direction, the incident eroded trust and reinforced a narrative that Bungie prioritizes microtransactions over player experience. Perhaps the most alarming sign is the dwindling player base. According to the SteamDB data compiled by the game post, Destiny 2's concurrent player count peaked at 98,211 on the Edge of Fate launch day, but plummeted to 17,964 within 2 months. Average players fell from 41,497 to just over 20,000. One Reddit post titled, "I think this game is finally dying," noted that even activities like the seasonal playlist and raids felt empty. With concurrent players dropping under 10,000, replies echoed that sentiment. The game is dying because there's nothing to do. Recycled content, same strikes, and this is like the 7th time we've seen hung jury. Others bemoan the punishing difficulty, grindy power levels, and a portal system that forces modifiers and negative power scaling for meager reward. Time gating and poor communication. Another misstep involved the Rite of the Nine dungeon rotation. Players expected weekly rotations of featured dungeons, but Bungie quietly set the rotation to 3 weeks. This meant weeks of farming the same dungeon and no access to unique loot from the others. This decision felt like artificially stretching content. After significant backlash on Bungie forums, Reddit, and from content creators, the studio revised the rotation to 2 weeks. Such miscommunications underscore a pattern of poor messaging that leaves players feeling misled. The ugly bugs that break the game. Crafting 2.0 and the lightweight sword bug. Perhaps the most infamous bug of 2025 is the lightweight sword DPS glitch, nicknamed Crafting 2.0, or the Slashening. With the launch of the Ash and Iron update, players discovered that using a lightweight frame sword with 0 heavy ammo allowed their light attacks to register as both melee and weapon damage, resulting in millions of damage per swing. Videos circulated of solo titans deleting raid bosses in seconds. The glitch was so simple that it required no skill. Jump, swing, and watch bosses disappear. It bypassed intended mechanics and trivialized endgame content. Bungie acknowledged the bug and temporarily disabled lightweight swords. The company initially planned a quick hotfix, but later delayed the fix, telling players to get your swings in for a few more days. Eventually, the bug was patched, but the incident reinforced the perception that Destiny 2 quality assurance is lacking. When bugs become features. Not all bugs are removed, some are adopted. During episode Heresy, a bug removed class locks on certain swords and glaive weapons. Players enjoyed the freedom of cross-class ninja dashes so much that Bungie decided to let the bug remain as a feature. In the words of the studio, initial reactions focused on fixing the issue to preserve class fantasies, but after some discussion between team members, we arrived at a new decision. We're going to let this ride. While this flexibility was appreciated, it has also highlighted how unintended behavior can sometimes produce more fun than intended design. Warlock exotic bug and known issues. Another widely shared bug involved the Ballador's Wrathweaver's exotic for Warlocks. Say that 5 times fast. A glitch allowed Warlocks to delete raid bosses by combining their Winter's Wraith super with a DOT weapon, causing damage to scale uncontrollably. Early testing by popular YouTuber Azzacross showed the bug in action. Bungie responded by disabling the exotic within hours. But players noted that the growing known issue list includes everything from minor UI glitches to blocked quest progress and disabled abilities. The sheer volume of the problems has many drawing connections between game stability and Bungie's multiple rounds of layoffs over the last year. Community sentiment, a love/hate relationship. The Destiny community is passionate, and that passion cuts both ways. Across Reddit, Twitter/X, and Facebook groups, the tone ranges from heartbreak to cynicism. Here are some of the recurring themes. The game feels broken. Players point to the litany of bugs and say the game hasn't been this unstable in years. One longtime fan wrote that Ash and Iron made Destiny feel neglected, and that they want so bad to enjoy the game, but it's genuinely just sad. Lack of meaningful rewards. With most new armor sets locked behind Eververse or reskins, players feel there's little incentive to play. Comments call the reward structure punishing and vindictive, and lament that the only thing that works is Eververse. Grind and difficulty creep. The new portal system forces players to run activities with modifiers that reduce their power for underwhelming drops. One player said that they didn't want to put on a gazillion modifiers and fight combatants at negative 40 power for mediocre loot. Another argued that contest mode raids have swung too far in difficulty and questioned whom endgame content is actually for. Fatigue and apathy. An increasing number of players simply walk away. In replies to the Desert Perpetual raid announcement, many players said that they hadn't bothered reaching the new power cap, or that everyone they know had quit. Others joked they'd be playing Borderlands 4 instead, while one described the game's balance team as the fun police. Distrust towards Bungie, repeated miscommunication, and perceived greed have eroded trust. The narrative that Bungie listens only when there's massive backlash, and with the Iron Banner armor and the Rite of the Nine rotation, is pervasive. The role of content creators, help or harm. Content creators are often the face of the community. They test builds, showcase strategies, and rally excitement. However, they also wield influence that can unintentionally harm the game's health. Let's explain both sides. Amplifying glitches and exploits. When the lightweight sword bug hit, numerous YouTubers, including popular channels like Asdacross and Cactus HD, rushed to publicize tutorials. These videos garnish hundreds of thousands of views, and within hours the glitch spread across the player base. On one hand, creators see themselves as reporters, showing what's possible and alerting Bungie to problems. On the other, they create a feedback loop. Players feel pressure to exploit bugs before they're patched because everyone else is doing it, which puts Bungie in a position of either disabling the affected items, impacting legitimate play, or watching the game's balance collapse. The Warlock Ballast Doors bug is a prime example. Asdacross's early testing video demonstrated how the glitch worked, prompting more players to replicate it. Bungie disabled the exotic almost immediately. While quick action prevented long-term damage, it also meant that a niche exotic, which had just been buffed, was removed from players' inventories. Players who never intended to exploit the bug were collateral damage. Similarly, the Crafting 2.0 glitch was widely showcased on YouTube and social media, leading to Bungie temporarily disabling all lightweight swords. Many players who enjoyed the unique playstyle of the swords, like sword skating, which requires skill and practice, lost access because of the bug they never abused. In this sense, creators raced to capitalize on an exploit can deprive the broader community of fun mechanics. Community leadership and responsibility. This isn't to say that creators are villains. They produce guides, host charity events, and help new players navigate a complex game. In the Destiny ecosystem, content creators often function as unofficial community managers. When Bungie miscommunicates or fails to provide timely updates, players look to creators for explanations. That leadership role comes with responsibility. Highlighting every glitch for clicks without considering the impact on the game can make the situation worse, especially when the game is already struggling. Some argue that creators should focus on constructive critiques, pushing Bungie toward better design and balance, rather than amplifying exploits. Others note that showcasing bugs sometimes forces Bungie to acknowledge and fix them sooner. The solution probably lies in moderation. Report issues, but avoid glamorizing easy DPS glitches that trivialize content. When a glitch takes no skill and clearly breaks encounters, perhaps creators should inform the community without turning it into a viral challenge. A divided audience. The reaction to content creators mirrors the broader community divide. One user in the Happy Gamer article comment thread noted that only big creators like Asdacross, Rick Cactus, Scaro, and Dado seem excited for the new raid, implying that these creators benefit from Destiny content regardless of its quality. In other words, while many players feel burned out or are leaving, creators must keep producing videos to maintain their livelihoods. That dynamic can create tension when those videos revolve around exploits or portray the game more positively than the average player feels. Forward-thinking solutions, how Destiny 2 can recover. This section isn't meant to pile on negativity. Instead, it offers concrete suggestions for Bungie, the community, and the content creators to help steer Destiny back onto a path of sustainability. Number 1, refocus on quality over quantity. The simplest fix is often the hardest. Slow down and polish releases. The sheer number of bugs in the Ash and Iron and Edge of Fate suggests a strained quality assurance pipeline. Bungie should consider delaying content or reducing seasonal scope to ensure stability. When players talk about the game feeling neglected, they're responding to basic features breaking. A stable core experience is more valuable than a half-finished modes and constant reskins. Number 2, transparent communication and roadmaps. Trust can be rebuilt through candid communication. After the Iron Banner and Eververse fiasco, Bungie's principal communications manager admitted, "It sucks that we've been unable to build positive momentum. Too many bumps in the road and missteps." Bungie promised a roadmap to rebuild trust, fixes to progression issues, and more information in upcoming TWID blogs. Such transparency is welcome. The studio should commit to regular updates outlining not just what's coming, but why certain decisions are made. That includes explaining time gates like Rite of the Nine, changes to monetization, and the rationale behind disabling items. Number 3, rethink monetization. The backlash over Eververse shows that players have a clear threshold for cosmetic monetization. Reskinning old armor and selling multiple sets per season while an earnable reward stagnate breeds resentment. Bungie should adopt a reward-first, sell-second philosophy. Ensure every season offers at least one truly new, earnable armor set before introducing paid options. When paid cosmetics exist, they should complement rather than replace in-game rewards. Number 4. Respect the grind. Balance difficulty and rewards. The portal system and difficulty tuning needs serious refinement. Running high-level activities with negative power levels should yield meaningful rewards. Otherwise, players will see it as a punishing, busy work. Bungie could experiment with scaling rewards based on challenge, example, guaranteed hide stat armor, unique perks or upgrade materials, and rotating modifiers to keep things fresh. For raids, consider modes that let players choose between contest rules for prestige or a more accessible version for those who simply want to experience the content. This addresses the divide between hardcore players and the broader player base highlighted by the Desert Perpetual raid discourse. Number 5. Partner constructively with content creators. Content creators are not going anywhere, and Bungie can harness their influence for good. One idea is to establish a creator advisory council that meets with Bungie regularly to discuss upcoming changes under NDA. This would allow creators to prepare educational content and voice concerns before updates go live. Bungie could also incentivize creators to highlight positive community incentives, like charity raids or build competitions rather than exploits, perhaps through in-game rewards or features, encouraging a culture that celebrates skillful play, such as sword skating or speedrunning, over glitch abuse helps shift the narrative. Number 6. Reinvest in the team. Behind the scenes, Bungie has suffered layoffs and attrition that inevitably affect game quality. To maintain a live service game of Destiny scale, the studio needs robust QA, engineering, and community management teams. Long-term investments in personnel and resources will pay dividends in smoother releases and better responsiveness to player feedback. Bungie has committed to a new studio for Marathon, but ensuring Destiny's team isn't stretched thin is vital. Number 7. Embrace the community's passion. Lastly, Bungie should remember why players are so vocal. They care. The frustration, memes, and rants come from a place of love for Destiny's world and gameplay. Bungie has shown willingness to change course when the community speaks up, whether adopting a bug into a feature or pulling paid armor into the reward pool. Lean into that collaboration. Host more feedback rounds, involve players in test builds, and celebrate community creations. Destiny thrives when the player base feels heard. Destiny 2 in 2025 is at a crossroads. The game still boasts one of the most satisfying shooters in the industry, a rich universe, and a devoted community. Yet it's buckling under the weight of technical issues, aggressive monetization, and perceived mismanagement. Updates like Ash and Iron have eroded goodwill, while Edge of Fate showed that huge systematic overhauls can fail when poorly implemented. Player numbers are slipping, and even the most loyal Guardians express fatigue. At the same time, there's a path forward. Bungie must prioritize stability and transparency, rethink its monetization strategy, balance difficulty with reward, and collaborate constructively with content creators and the community. Creators themselves need to be mindful of the impact their content has on the health of the game. The community, meanwhile, should continue to hold Bungie accountable while celebrating what makes Destiny special. The game we love is hurting, but it isn't beyond saving. If Bungie can fix the fundamentals and rebuild trust, Destiny 2 may yet avoid the slow, painful death many fear. As players and creators, we have a role to play. By advocating for better, by refusing to normalize harmful exploit content, and by supporting constructive change. I've been playing this game for 8 or 9 years now. I love this game. Me and my wife play this game almost every night, and it hurts me to see the state that this game is in right now. I just want better for Destiny 2, I want better for the community, and here's to hoping the next state of the game is one we all can celebrate. Alright Guardians, that's my take on the state of Destiny 2 right now. The player counts, the bugs, the monetization, this game is standing on a knife's edge. But the community still cares, and that passion is exactly why I believe Bungie can turn this around. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Bungie will fix these issues, or is Destiny 2 on a slow, painful decline? Drop your opinions in the comments and let's start a real conversation. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button so more Guardians can see it. And subscribe if you want honest, no BS Destiny coverage every week. We're going to keep holding Bungie accountable and celebrating the things that still make this game special. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Eyes up, Guardian.